Hey everybody, welcome back to another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Revolution Skeletor, or otherwise known as Skeletek. Now, if you saw the Revelation series, you'll know that at the end of that series, Skeletor returns to Snake Mountain after his defeat, and he is attacked and captured by his former minions, Triclops, Trapjaw, Whiplash, etc. And they bring him before Motherboard, who then starts to augment him. And of course, Motherboard is revealed at the end of that series to be part of the Evil Horde, because they show us the Evil Horde symbol. So this is what he looks like, basically, after his cybernetic transformation at the beginning of Revolution. I'm not going to get into any spoilers for that series because it's still relatively new and you may not have seen it yet. But so yeah, aside from how he looks, I'm not going to really say anything else about how it goes. As you can see, his Havoc staff has replaced his right arm. So we've got that there. Left arm is untouched. He's got some cybernetics around his head and neck, around his torso, and of course the bottom of his legs have been replaced by cybernetic, kind of like General Grievous from Star Wars, similar style. But we'll look at that in a second. First we're going to look at the packaging. And this is similar packaging to what we've seen thus far from Man-at-Arms, as well as Orko and Gwildor. And I've taken the tray out because, well, it didn't need to be in there, since I got the figure right here. So, as you can see, the Master of the Universe Revolution branding, it's a Skeletor on the side, kind of diagonal cut there. And there's some nice artwork on the front here. And it kind of wraps around to the side. There you see Triclops in his priest garb. And there's the Motherboard. That's Thor, actually. And then, wait, no, that's Screech. Sorry, Zora is the good one. Screech is the bad one. Sometimes I get them mixed up. So yeah, we haven't reviewed this version of Triclops yet, but we'll get to that at some point. And then we got more artwork on the side here. Skeletor looking very sinister and cool. And then on the back, you've got the product image. And you got a picture of him as the crown on his head and a close-up of the Havoc staff arm. And then you have this little blurb here, which basically details the ending of Revelation. If you want to read that, Evil Lord of Destruction, as he's always been known. And then here we have the other figures in the line, in this wave, rather. Sorceress Teela, Man-at-Arms, Trapjaw, Skeletor. I'll be doing Trapjaw later this week. Man-at-Arms I've already done, and Sorceress Teela will come some other time. I actually do have her now. I didn't have her when I did Man-at-Arms review, but I've got her and Triclops now, so I'll be doing reviews for both of them at some point as well. But yeah, Skeletor today, Trapjaw later in the week. On the bottom, we got Legalese. Now, like I mentioned before, one of the drawbacks, I think, to this new brand of packaging is the picture, the figure image on the back. Before, we used to have full artwork on the back. Like, this type of artwork right here would be all over on the back. Just a nice, huge, big piece of artwork, and I preferred that because it looks so good. This is still nice, but I would rather it be on the whole back of the packaging rather than just the side. And I mean, just look at that. I don't know the name of the artists. I wish they would have his name on here somewhere. I don't know, do they? It would be nice if they did the packaging like NECA does theirs, where they detail everybody who was involved and what they did. So they don't do that here. So I don't know the name of the artist, but he's really fantastic. Or she. Could be a she. I'm pretty sure I've heard the name. I just can't recall it, and I'm pretty sure it's a guy. But it's fantastic artwork in any case. So that's the box. Here's the figure. And the first thing I will say about this figure is his head looks just a little too small for the body. I think the head should have been a little bigger, like 25-50% maybe bigger. But it looks really tiny. I mean, look how big its chest is. And his head looks really small on top of that. And he's got a hood on too, so I mean, I know it's a skull, so it's not going to be that thick anyway, and that big anyway, but it still looks rather small. I mean, do you guys agree? Comment down below if you think it looks small too, or if maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm not looking at it right. But as usual, Masterverse, good with the paint apps compared to, you know, Mattel, or not Mattel, compared to Marvel or Star Wars or even G.I. Joe. Of course, you get fewer accessories with the Masterverse characters than you do with the G.I. Joe classified figures, but it would still be nice to get more paint apps on the Joe figures. The ram's head, the ram staff arm, is not very articulated, I should say. Like, you can't do too much with it. It feels like it should be like bendy, like you can bend it in or stuff, but I don't know if you can. I mean, you might be able to. It feels like you can, but I don't want to break it, so I'm not gonna do that. You can get some twists at the head itself, the ram's head itself, and it does have a ball joint up there, so you can get some in and out, basically. But yeah, he's got the silver paint on the cybernetic pieces around his chest in there. He's got the nice looking paint on his face. You can see his eye painted there, and of course the silver coming down. Looking really cool. And then he's got this green paint on the big circle on his waist. Got some of that red paint on the border of his like lower cloak, his skirt piece basically. And then his legs, of course, are all silver. He's got that red and purple paint on his ram staff, and the horns are purple, and there's more like kind of a light green or teal or aqua or whatever paint on this there. And of course he's got this like neon green type paint intertwined throughout the arm there and on his glove over here. So all in all, pretty cool paint design. Going over articulation, Skeletor can look down about that far, can look up about that far. He can do the Exorcist. He's got some tilt. His ram staff can go all the way around, but you can't really get much on the T-pose, although he can get up to 90 on this side. He does have the bicep cut on his left arm, not anything on his right arm. The ram's head can do the Exorcist, and it also has an opening jaw, so you can open it and close it like that. His left arm has double jointed pinless elbow, although you can't get much on the double joint because of his bicep getting in the way. He does have a horizontal hinge on his left hand. It is a gripping hand, even though he doesn't come with anything that he can grip. He does have some nice tilt at the waist, and he can crunch forward about that far, and he can go back a little bit further, and he can turn. He can turn at the top where the diaphragm basically is, and you can also, if you hold on to that piece there, you can also turn that piece as well, the midsection piece. Although this part here does not have any bend to it, you can only turn it. But he can get all the tilt and whatnot from the diaphragm cut there. This cloth, or not cloth, but this robe, lower robe part is pretty flexible material, so it gets out of the way of the legs, but it is tightly connected at the top here, so you can't kick out too far because it gets in the way. It'll stop you there. This side you can't kick out that far either. You can get a little bit more from the right than the left. There, you can't do the the Van Damme splits because it's not quite traffic cone, but it's close. It's definitely traffic coning on the left leg. The right one can get out a bit further because of the way it's cut, but you still can't get out that far. You can kick back about that far. Not too bad. Not too much, rather. Both legs have thigh cuts, and they also have calf cuts there, I guess you'd call it. You can also twist it at the knee joint. So you got a thigh cut, a knee joint hinge, and a calf cut. I'd say boot cut, but he's not really wearing a boot, is he? The lower leg, the knee joint area is pinless. It's about a 90 degree. It's a single joint. But because he's robotic, he can also bend it a little bit more than 90 in the other direction. So he has a pretty good range of motion on his knee as a result of his cybernetics. Yeah, twist you around again. There we go. His foot can hinge back almost all the way. That's pretty good. I mean, it's almost pretty much like 180 degrees straight down. That's pretty nice. And then it can get forward about that far. And it does have some rocker. And he also has peg holes on the bottom, although I don't think you'll need them because he's got that big toe piece on the back, like a bird claw. It's basically what he looks like. It looks like bird feet. But that toe, that extra toe on the back can give you stability when you're trying to stand them up. So you might not need a stand. Accessories wise, he does not come with much. He comes with one extra hand. It's a fist for his left hand, obviously. He doesn't need an extra hand for his right, since he's got the ram staff there. And he also comes with a crown, which of course plays a part in the story, but I'm not going to go into that. And it fits on his head like so. Or you can turn it upside down if you want to wear it like that. That's not how it goes, though. It's definitely supposed to go like this on the show. So, not a whole lot with Skeletek. He looks pretty cool, but he's pretty bare bones in the accessories department. But if you like the show, and I would suggest watching it, even if you hated Revolution, I thought was better. I wasn't a huge fan of Revelation. Like, I thought it was on par with the Filmation series, but I'll admit that I'm not a huge fan of the Filmation series. I like the 2000 series. I thought that was really fantastic, and I wish the Kevin Smith series had been a continuation of that series rather than Filmation. Now he did say it was a continuation of the Filmation series, But the weird part is, in the Filmation series, Prince Adam and He-Man looked virtually identical. It was the 2000 series that first introduced the idea that Prince Adam was just this little kid and He-Man was the big bulky guy. Like, Filmation had him doing like a Clark Kent thing where people couldn't tell he was the same guy, even though just because he had clothes on. I mean, he didn't even have glasses. It was the same head. Prince Adam and He-Man were identical, the twins, basically. It's just when all of a sudden he turned into He-Man and lost his clothes and just had a loincloth off, people couldn't tell, or a loincloth on, people couldn't tell all of a sudden that he was still Prince Adam, even though he looked exactly the same. So yeah, Kevin Smith changed that part for making this a sequel to the Filmation series. He kept the Prince Adam from the 2000 series. But like I said, Revolution, it's pretty good. It's the series getting better. You know, Revelation might not have been as good. Revolution's a little better. Maybe the next series will be even better than that. We've had 5 episodes so far from Revolution. They'll probably split up into 2 parts like they did with Revelation, so we should be getting another 5 episodes sometime soon, and then we'll see if it gets a 3rd season from there. We still haven't seen the Snake Men, so sorry if that's a spoiler. Yeah, there's no Snake Men in Revolution, so that's not that big of a spoiler, but if you were hoping to see the Snake Men in Revolution, I guess I dashed your hopes there. But I'm sure they'll be around eventually if the series continues. So, I probably wouldn't pick this figure up unless you're like die hard into the line. I'm pretty much all in for Masterverse. I really like the look and the design. And if you're not all in, probably skip Skeletek unless you like the design. But even if you do like it, you could probably wait, and he'll probably be on clearance at some point. I think a lot of these Masterverse figures are going to clearance. I don't know why. I think they're really good-looking figures. I can understand why the Revelation and Revolution-based figures are going to clearance, but the new Eternia stuff was really good. So, anyway, Trapjaw will be the next video I do. And then Sunday will be a Blast from the Past that's not G.I. Joe related. And then next week, I think I'll take a break from Masterverse and go back to G.I. Joe next week. I have a few new figures I can do. But then the week after, I think we'll do the Sorceress Tila and Triclops reviews. So, until then, like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you next time.